Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody can hear me okay. My name's Juliette and I'm going to be covering off your bulk data webinar with you this morning. I'd just like to thank everybody for joining me this morning. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through some features of the bulk data area of the toolkit. So just to introduce myself, my name is Juliette Passam and I'm one of the customer relationship managers here at My HR Toolkit. And what we'll be I'm sorry, I seem to be having, oh, here we go, there we go. Thank you very much. We're just waiting for the slides to catch up. Yeah, I'm one of the customer relationship managers here at My HR Toolkit. We'll go through the different areas in the agenda. If we can wait for the screen to catch up, please. So what we're going to cover off within bulk data is we're going to go through the three areas, which are organisation, people, and then settings. And then at the end, we'll go through some questions. If anybody has any questions, if you can add those to the Q&A section, we can try and get through those at the end. So if you just bear with me, what I'm going to do now is share my screen so that I can go into my toolkit. So hopefully now everybody can see my toolkit. So just a little bit of background about the bulk data area. So it's a relatively new area within the toolkit. And for those of you who've had a toolkit for a while, a lot of the features in bulk data were previously included in the original area, which was used by controllers, which was previously known as setup and admin before it became config recently. So bulk data has brought together a lot of areas which are predominantly for maintenance and updating employee information. Bulk data is now available for use by controllers and managers, and it holds and maintains a lot of information that's contained in the toolkit. This has also opened up accessibility, as previously much of the work in these areas could only be carried out by controllers, but now managers have access to this as it is accessible from the management page. So as mentioned, during the session we're going to look at each of the three areas which are included within bulk data. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with organisation. Now, organisation contains two areas. The first area is company information, as you can see here, and the second page is for payroll numbers. Now, if we open up the company information page, what you'll see here is different areas where you can register lots of details about your employees. Now, the first area here for line managers, this is a free text box. So what you can do is you can add information about people's line managers into this area. And then you've got three other areas where you can record employee numbers, national insurance numbers, and also DBS numbers as well. Now, the next area to company information is payroll numbers. And again, it's got your basic information about your employees and where they work, and the ability to add their payroll number and save it in the toolkit. Now, once that information is stored, you can also report on that if you ever need to get information out of the toolkit. So if you move to the reports area and then to employee data, the information stored there is available in the reports that you can see on this page. So let's move back to bulk data now, and we'll move to the people area. Now, the people area covers a lot of information, most of which is self-explanatory. But one of the main areas that you will probably use is manage users. Now, this is an area that you can use if you need to ever update somebody's location, their department, or their job title. And as you can see over here on the right-hand side, there's an actions box where you can make any changes to that information held for employees and update it. It's also quite handy if you need to make changes to people who are due to start in the business with you. So if you've added a new employee and their start date changes, you would be able to update update that information on this page too. Now, if you ever get a new starter that actually doesn't join your business for whatever reason, you can delete their information from this page as well. If your little bin icon is highlighted red, you're able to delete the user from the toolkit and it will remove their information. If it's kind of greyed out and you don't have that option, that does mean that that employee has actually activated their toolkit and you would need to process them as a leaver to be able to remove them from there. Now, you can easily navigate to other areas of the people section when you're in here by using the links across the top. Now, as I said, most of the areas are quite self-explanatory, so I thought what I'd do is show you some of the areas that are probably less known or less used so that you can have a look in those areas. So we'll start with the employee photo area. Now, this is just as it sounds. If you wanted to upload a photo of your employee into the toolkit, you would be able to do it from the upload area here. Now, once that photo is stored, it does show in a few other areas. You can see that photo on any holiday request that the employee makes. It's also visible in the employee files area and also in the employee directory as well. It's quite handy sometimes to be able to put a face to a name. Now, the emergency contact page is also very useful, especially at the times that we're in at the moment. It's really useful to make sure that everybody's contact information is up to date on here. Now, you can complete this information, you can add the information in and submit it, but you can also ask your employees to update and maintain this information. Now, they'd be able to do that from the My File area within My Home. And it's always a good idea to make sure that the employee has made the person who they're adding their information, their emergency contact, aware that their details are being added to the system. And it's also a really good idea to make sure that you ask your employees to review and update this information on a regular basis. If you move back to the people page here, one other area to show you down here is an area to export employee personal data. So this area allows you to export data relating to your employees. You can download it in a CSV file and it can be imported into most other applications. So the final area to cover off today is the settings area. And this is all around the employee directory and how to manage the employee directory. Now, when you open up this page at the top, as you can see, you've got two options. So you can ask the employee directory to show all users regardless, or you can choose an option where you can select which employees you would like to be visible within the employee directory. And as you can see here, it's just a case of selecting who you would like to have visible and submitting that information. Now, to actually manage what information is visible in the employee directory, this is done from the config area. And I'll quickly show you that area here. So this does need to be done by controllers. But if you jump to controllers, move to system, and then to people, as you can see here, you've got a list of information that you can make visible within the employee directory, and you can choose what you would want visible when people access that area.